specialist. It starts when I press, does it?
Yep.
And then just runs. Okay, my first time doing this. I was asked to present on sustainability in BIM, and I'd like to talk about wider applications of BIM to enhance sustainability. Some of the things perhaps that we should be thinking about and be aware of. And really this is just a recount of my explorations in BIM over the last 12 months. My name's Jon Moorhouse, I'm an architect. I run a practice called Constructive Thinking. I also lecture at Jon Moorhouse University, and my specialism is really in sustainability and community thinking rather than BIM, but BIM is a tool of my trade, as it were. What is BIM? Anyone who's following the Twitter feeds should really tweet now. Everybody else might answer this question on their feedback sheet. But BIM is whatever it is to who's using it. And I've looked here at specialist contractors, engineers, designers, and project managers. And these are all elements of the staircase that we worked on. BIM is also communication. This is a project I was involved in called BIM Whispers. It was a model that was initially sent basically around the planet and arrived back at me with the image on the right. We then took it through a 3D printer, but it was just to see how we can collaborate without discussing things. This is a case study that I did for Graphisoft, and it's on a technology strategy board project that we undertook, and it was basically the retrofit of a terrace house and trying to bring it up to similar performance standards as new builds, and we've been relatively successful in that. But there's other considerations and opportunities. 3 examples are, all of which may benefit from BIM. Ashton Hayes, which is a carbon neutral village, the UK's first. The picture in the middle is Totnes, and they're involved particularly in small power production. And this is some good practice from an architect called Kim Harris, who was employed to remodel other architects' designs in full, with full MEP prior to them going on site. This is a house on Mayfair. She managed to save, I think, 95% of site waste. And this is the way she modelled, actually. And through modelling all the MEP and the pipe runs and so on, she increased the contractor's profit by nearly 30% on that project. Next slide. Doesn't work like that. Okay. This is one of our projects, and we took the lead from Kim. And it's a project where we wanted to take it a step further, and we only modelled in the main elements of timber in this were only modelled in available lengths. So it's going back to the kind of sea glass procedure. But the idea was to try and sort of get that last 5% and get zero waste. And through that, this is a project where we work with an oak frame supplier, and we taught him just enough ArchiCAD to help us model the junctions, which was great fun because this was a self-build, and we assembled the oak frame on site, and it did all fit. We then took the oak frame, it's green oak, and we shrunk it by 1% to see where we'd be in a year. This slide's about communication, how we can kind of save time and money in travel, and this is something, it's a kind of BIM-X model that works on an iPhone, and we were sending these models to a contractor 40 miles away to explain his questions, which, you know, sort of 4 or 5 times a day. This was a conversation with a planner. The planner wanted us to build the extension on the right. We wanted, on the left, on your left. We wanted to build the extension on the right. And it was through a series of models we sort of persuaded the parish council to relent and let us sort of create something a little bit more modern. This is a project in California, and it's a slide given to me by Matthew Loden, who is, I guess, a new kind of practitioner. He fills the gaps between all the different practitioners who all use different BIM software, and he's a BIM coordinator. He's brought this model together as a hospital. This slide actually comes from a chap called Till Breton in France, who's involved in the design and procurement of a college. And the BIM model is used directly for procurement and facilities management. And it's also linked to a database whereby when the prices change, the cost of the building automatically updates. What is facilities management? We've talked about it an awful lot today. and I think it's probably going places that I can't yet imagine. I really like the idea of this slide on the left where the building's occupants actually become the facilities managers, and I think that through interface we can achieve that. Collaboration, this is from the Built London competition. This is a practice, or three practices in Ireland. I wasn't involved in this, but they worked collaboratively overnight over 48 hours just with Skype links, but on the same model. And that was kind of a really interesting way for them to work. So I want to sort of finish up by talking about dipping into the data soup. There's a lot of data out there. Somebody mentioned that, I think it was a presenter from the States saying, why weren't we doing this 20 years ago? The data's out there. This is some augmented reality work I've been doing. I've been trying to locate design on a site so people can look at the site through an iPhone. They always float in the air at the moment. We'll get there. But we're also starting to work with Modelark, who are kind of games technology people, but they're dipping into this sort of technology. They're getting data from Oyster cards and allowing people to track each other around London in a sort of real game. And then my challenge to the government office is to take some words out of their statement about community resilience, where they're saying that this has to happen during an emergency, and I think it should happen all the time. So really what I'm talking about is BIM empowering communities in taking control of their data. Just time for one question, 20 seconds. So any questions? Okay, no questions? Thank you very much.